Members of Congress are demanding answers to questions about the type of card used to get onto Naval Station Norfolk in Monday's shooting. Jeffrey Savage used a Wvec card to get on base.
Today, Senator Mark Warner wrote a letter to the Secretary of Homeland Security asking questions about this credential. Investigative reporter Nick Oxner has been asking his own questions all week. Nick, should Savage have had this card?
Well, Regina, not according to TSA guidelines on their face. Savage's 2 felony convictions and jail time as recently as 2012 mean the only way he should have been able to get a Wvec card is by applying for a waiver. That's a waiver Senator Mark Warner says he's not sure Savage should have gotten.
The men and women who serve, who put themselves in harm's way, ought to be able to go to work when they're home ported and feel safe.
That's what Senator Mark Warner says drove him to write a letter to the Secretary of Homeland Security and the Navy demanding answers about Wvec cards. Warner's letter comes after convicted felon Jeffrey Savage was able to use his Wvec card to get onto Naval Station Norfolk and shoot and kill a sailor. The gunman had 2 felony convictions on his record. Does that make you even more concerned?
Absolutely.
TSA guidelines allow felons to get a Wvec card, but not if they've been in prison within the past 5 years. Savage was released from prison for manslaughter charges in 2009, which means he would have had to have been granted a waiver to get a credential.
Something went dreadfully wrong, and in a 21st century era where there's very sophisticated identification systems, this kind of tragedy shouldn't be taking place.
It's a big problem, and we're very troubled by that. We're very concerned about it.
Congressman Randy Forbes sits on the House Armed Services Committee and says his committee's paying attention to the ongoing investigations into what happened.
We've got to do whatever we can to make sure we're remaining vigilant and to make sure that we're defending our personnel on these ships.
Now, I asked the TSA today what requirements are for a convicted felon to get a Wvec waiver. They wouldn't answer my question. In fact, they said I needed to ask the Navy, even though they have no say who actually gets a Wvec card. Nick Oxner.